guys are all doing really good. I'm just stirring the noodles here a little bit on the guitar. Nothing too important, just playing a few chords, you know. That was kind of fun. That was almost like Joe Pass and Van Morrison, you know, shared a room or something. I don't know. It was that was my first impression. That was just something I come up with right there as soon as I hit play record. You know, mistakes are free and all that. I do this a lot with my actual recorder, you know, in the studio. I'll a lot of times just go in with no direction whatsoever, maybe get a metronome going and just start playing something. I might pick a key or it might pick me. I don't know. Now, for instance, that was the first thing I hit right there. We got the little swirly kind of univibe thing going, which is cool. Now that puts me into like 70s mode when I hear that. Now that's what it's about. Like, okay, for me, like pedals, you know, guitars have, every one of them have songs in them. This is, I believe this through and through. Yes, I am a guitar nut job and I've completely lost it, but I've played enough and written enough songs in my lifetime to know that, you know, obviously you can't like take it apart and pull the song out, but the inspiration is in every guitar. It really is. That's why I love having so many. I mean, I can pick these up and come up with ideas just by the way they feel, the way they sound, the way they react to what I'm doing, you know, whatever mood I'm in that day. I don't know. It's just some days, you know, you're angry, you pull out something with humbuckers and let it rip, or maybe not. Maybe just play something soft and easy and, you know, kind of talk yourself down musically. Anyway, that's what I like to do. I don't like to plan nothing. I find a lot of the best ideas I've ever come up with are just happy accidents for the most part, and just not being intimidated by, you know, recording it. What are you out? If it don't, you know, I'm not paying for the recording session, so if you don't have to pay for it, it don't matter. Just record yourself all the time. A lot of times you'll just forget you're doing it, and all of a sudden, wham, you come up with something pretty cool and you got it, you know. I know I've lost thousands of ideas by not recording. You know, in this day and age, we have nice cell phones. I mean, this is what I use for my channel. It's a brand new S24 Ultra Samsung. Seems to work nice. I'm happy with it so far. I was good with my other one till I dropped it and broke it, so that's how it goes. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. You know, nothing too major, mostly minor, no pun. But we gotta do a little work to this one. The neck's got a little bit of forward bow happening in it, and you know, it's nothing too major. It usually stays pretty straight. You know, the seasons are starting to change here in Maine, so it's time to keep an eye on your gear. You know, even where you folks, wherever you live, you know, if the seasons are changing, you got to pay attention to this stuff. Well, anyway, folks, I'm just noodling, not making much sense at this point. I am going to go through some more guitars here later tonight and try some different amp combinations. I'm going to start doing some more recording, so I really want to kind of make a list of, you know, the best sounding stuff I got, or, you know, the worst sounding stuff I have, because sometimes you need that dirty, cheap sound too. It's good to have, you know, all the bases covered, so to speak. I wrote a great song one time with a guitar I paid $2 for off somebody's lawn. It was incredible. I still have it somewhere here. I think it's in pieces, but yeah, I mean, you know, it just bang, I picked it up and it inspired me to do what I did. Kind of like what just happened here. Again, I don't really plan much. It's not worth it. You really can't. It's hard to like force music or song ideas. If you try to write a song, you'll never do it. If you just kind of ignore it and noodle and pay attention to the cool little pieces and then kind of, you know, stick them together sometimes, that's how I do it, at least. If I sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write a song, I can't do it. Cannot do it. It would sound just like that, stiff and dry and lame, you know. When I don't really care about what I'm doing and not under any pressure or anybody watching, and that doesn't bother me, but, you know, sometimes when you're just by yourself, that's total freedom, so you can just do whatever you feel like, make all the mistakes you want. That's where the good stuff comes from, in my opinion, at least in my case. You know, the more I just aimlessly play and mess around with stuff, I work on stuff too, don't get me wrong. I have little things that I'm always working on, but I always make time just to take the bracelets off and play whatever I feel like that minute. I think it's good for you. It keeps it fun, at least. You can't just sit there and drill scales all day and try to pick faster than anyone that's ever touched a pick. I find that to be really counterproductive, really, honestly. Where are you going to use it? I mean, you can't play that all night. You just can't do it. You got to be tasty, you got to be original, and you got to come up with these little things that, you know, that feel good when you play them. If it doesn't feel good, you just don't play it again. The ones that do feel good to you, then work on them, expand on them. At least that's my opinion, and that's how I try to approach it. And just, you know, like I said, no pressure. I'm not in a hurry. I don't care if I write a song or not. That's usually when I write great songs, honestly. It's all about the headspace you're in and that kind of thing. Sometimes it's more of an outlet for me to get away from, you know, stuff that I'm dealing with or I don't want to deal with. Sometimes that's how I just unplug from the world and just plug this in. And, you know, it doesn't work every time, but it seems to be becoming a pattern with it, you know. Like I've done this for so many years now, I can almost turn it on and off like a switch, which is cool. I mean, not always. Like I said, you're not always going to come up with something magic. But, you know, sometimes you can. And like I said, it seems like the less I try, the better it is, you know. Not always, though. I wrote 7 complete songs in one day, one time. This was quite a few years ago. All bass, drums, and guitar, complete. Roughed down. All me doing the instruments, too. It wasn't great recordings or anything, but the ideas were pretty good, you know. So, but one day, probably in 3 or 4 hours, 7 songs, just like that, bang. Then another time, it was a week, I think. I might have wrote like 10 in 1 week. Just quick, just, you know, when it was just coming to me daily. And that's all I was doing, was just turning the recorder on, get the metronome rolling, and start noodling. And, you know, I'd get a nice piece down, and I'd stop, go back, figure out another one, and then just hit the punch pedal and add on to what I just did. Really quick too, 15, 20 minutes a song sometimes. All the instruments, just as quick as I could do it. See if it had a good feel to it, or if it was a song at all, Okay, folks, I gotta go get something to drink. I'm all dried out from talking here and yakking and gabbing. Okay, well, we'll see you guys tomorrow, I'm sure. I'm gonna do some more noodling here and get ready for the big snowstorm. We're about to get hammered with snow again tomorrow. Summer's almost here too, and here we go. 1.5 feet of snow coming. Oh well, I'm used to it. Alright folks, we'll see you soon. Be good. Okie doke.